Hi guys, and welcome back to my podcast. And I'm here with another amazing guest, and I cannot wait for you guys to see what we have on today. Some exciting stuff. So welcome Vagif. He is my new guest, like I said. He grew up in Germany. At 13 he got expelled from school, and then he went to boarding school in UK. Then he left school, done his GCSEs, and went back to Germany to pursue his love for cooking, which is absolutely amazing. He started many different businesses, including dropshipping, selling clothes, and some marketing strategies. He then visited Dubai and had an amazing light bulb moment and decided to fill a gap in the market and open a super luxury rental car business, which is doing absolutely amazing. So welcome, Vagif.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
That's okay.
I'm excited.
Oh, me too. How are you today?
All good, all good. How are you?
Good. Oh, fantastic. Amazing as always. How was your day?
Busy, but...
Busy. Well, I'm very, very glad you found the time to come and speak to me today.
For you always, of course.
Oh, thank you very much. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Obviously, I spoke a little bit about your life. Can you go into a little bit more detail about where you are now, obviously, with your business career? And I do want to touch on your upbringing in Germany as well, because you're my youngest guest at 23. To achieve what you've achieved is fantastic so far.
Thank you very much.
And I'm really excited for you to tell me about that. And I'm also excited for you to tell and educate the world really on how you've managed to do so much in such a short space of time. I hear it's like 9 months.
Yeah.
So incredible. How was your upbringing? And go from the start really, Vagif, please.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Cologne, Germany. That's where I grew up, basically. I've lived there for 13 years and, had a hard time in school. I was not the best at school, didn't like school at all. I was just getting kicked out of one school after the other because I just don't like sitting at a table, listening to teachers. It was never my thing. And I just always knew I wanted to make something different. And it's not what I want to do anything with in my future, So after I got kicked out of Germany, out of many schools, I think it was like 3 schools. Then my parents sent me to boarding school in the UK. That's where you're from originally?
Yeah.
So,
what part of UK?
So it was first southwest. It's next to Bath, called a small town called Warminster.
Not much happening there at all.
No, it's Warminster.
Unfortunately, sorry for all the Bath.
Yeah, that's where I went to school. Stayed there for 2 years after I got kicked out again. So then I had to go up to the north next to Sheffield. A small town called Worksop. Like both terrible. Yeah, Worksop. Both terrible small towns, nothing to see.
We need to be careful here. We've got a lot of British viewers,
yeah.
But you didn't feel like there was a lot of opportunities for you in Walsall.
Opportunities?
Yeah.
No, not really. No.
Okay.
No.
They really, really wanted to send you far away, didn't they? Your family.
Yes, because they see I was not doing anything in Germany. Bad people I was connecting with, not doing anything productive, but it didn't get really better in UK, to be honest. It just stayed the same. I still didn't like school, still didn't like the whole concept of it. So, yeah, after I was 17, I got kicked out again, out of the next school.
Shock.
So, GCSE, and they didn't want to take me for A-levels. And I didn't really want to do A-levels anyway, because I had a big passion, as you said, for cooking.
Yes.
And that's when I moved back to Germany again.
Wow. So every woman, by the way, loves a guy that can cook. So is that still the case?
I can still do it. I rarely get time to actually cook because, it's kind of time consuming, obviously, to cook. So I don't do it that much. But I used to be a very good chef. I would say 3 years apprenticeship in a French kitchen with 1 Michelin star.
So what was your upbringing like other than how was the boarding school for you? And do you feel like it had an impact on who you are today?
In some sort of way, they did teach some good, I think, principles in some sort of way, like being on time always, you have like a lot of schedules there where you have to be on time at this. So, and then at such a young age, like 13, you had to do like your own laundry and you had to do your bed and like, this kind of stuff, which when you live at home, probably your parents do for you. And you have to clean up your room by yourself and stuff like this.
Wow.
So it was good in some sort of way. But it wasn't for me again,
But I guess it made you quite independent to leave home from such a young age.
Yes.
It probably made you, believe it or not, probably 10 steps quicker.
Yes, 100%.
Than where you would have been if you was being at home and mothered and bed made, clothes made, food made, and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it taught you some amazing values. So, and because everyone looks at boarding school, they're like, oh my God, that's scary. Even me, it's like, what a bad child you must be to go to boarding school.
Yeah.
So that's what you have the thought of always. So wow.
You better be close to your mic. So.
And then you finished, and you've basically, so then you went back to Germany. How was Germany for you? Because sometimes when you've been brought in such a up environment that you never really got on with, like school, and you go back there, it's a little bit of a setback. Did you feel like that when you went back to Germany at such a young age?
Yeah, because to be honest, I didn't have much friends anymore. Like no people to socialize really, because I left. I was switching up schools like every year. Basically, I went to a new school. So you had your friends in a year, but then you switch to a new school. Then you have their friends, but then you lose contact with the old ones again. So when I then went to UK for 3 years, I came back. I literally have no friends, like nobody to talk to really. I was just doing my work. Going to the restaurant where I was working, and then the side hustles after that, because I knew like I'm making nothing, like 350 euros, so like 320 pounds, $350 US a month from just working there. It can't be it, like for the next 3 years I'll be stuck with this money, because when you're an apprenticeship in Germany, you get a bit, but that's not a lot,
Yeah, same with the whole of Europe, really.
Yeah.
It is very small money, but did you feel like obviously that was your passion from young? When did you realize you had a big passion for cooking?
Was when I was like, I think 11, when my grandma bought me like a cooking course for my birthday, and I went to this Hilton, hotels obviously, they had like a cooking class for kids, and I went there and I just absolutely loved it. And from there I always, been into it, watch all the Gordon Ramsay videos and everything, and I was like really into it.
Wow.
And then I knew I want to do it. I want to pursue a career there, and eventually, of course, open a restaurant. That was a big dream, not to stay as a chef,
Of course.
To open a restaurant. I was thinking big, but it didn't then work out in the end, because it's a bit difficult in Germany, obviously, with this whole concept. Restaurants, not enough labor, nobody wants to work, and especially in this field, as it's very, very tiring.
So what year was this in? What year roughly was it in?
When
2000 and...
When what?
When you were in this restaurant
Okay.
at the apprenticeship.
I started in 2017, so I was 17 years old.
So about 2000. So it wasn't long ago, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then from there, where was your next step? How did you transform into something amazing that you're in now?
So 2017, I started my apprenticeship, obviously. Was doing it for like 2-3 months, and then I realized, okay, I'm working so much, but I'm not getting any money. I need to start something, something different. So then my first side hustle was selling clothes, basically. So that was my big thing. I was selling used clothes, actually for women. Because this website called Vinted. I don't know if you have it.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have it in the UK.
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, Vinted. That's where I started selling women clothes for some reason, because I started for men's, but then I realized a lot of women were hitting me up for men's clothes. They were wearing like jeans.
Baggy stuff.
Like baggy Carhartt jeans. And I realized like in market for it, but I didn't have any money to buy them.
Right.
So that was my problem, to scale it up. But what I did, I don't know if it still works. I had this one website where I was buying them off. And I was paying with like PayPal 14 days later payment.
Okay.
You can like buy on.
Is it Klarna? There's one called Klarna.
Yeah, like Klarna, basically
yeah.
Klarna, but on PayPal you have the function of paying 14 days later.
Okay.
So I was buying from this one website, not having any money. I was buying them and I had to pay them back 14 days later. Wow. So I kept the clothes for 10 days with me. Wow. And when I didn't sell them on Vinted, I sent them back. Because I didn't have any money to invest, basically.
Of course.
So I had to find a way.
So you had literally a 4-day period to sell all the clothes?
No, like 10 days.
Okay.
10 days, and then till it comes back to the warehouse, I accept everything, so I don't have to pay anything, because I didn't have the money then to pay for it.
Yeah.
So whatever I managed to sell in these 10 days, I sold over Vinted.
Wow.
Whatever, I didn't. So that was on the side always,
So that was your small side hustle. And when did you really start doing so were you doing like multiple of those?
So I was doing this at the start. Then I passed on to a friend. I told him how to do it, basically, and I helped him do it. Because then I transitioned to drop shipping. You probably heard of it, I did it for like 1.5 years and caught a quite good wave in Corona.
Yeah.
When the coronavirus hit, I caught a quite good wave because every gym was closed. Yeah. And I sold like gym equipment for the home.
Wow.
So home gym equipment. So I got kind of lucky there.
Yeah,
because,
very. Because you picked up a gap.
Yeah, I picked up a gap.
Huge gap in the market then. And it was really tough, I remember, in lockdown to buy weights.
Yeah.
I think I spent like £65 on like a set of 8s or something.
Yeah, it wasn't weight. It was like just body workout equipment. Worked out very well. Got some money from there. And then I went on to a holiday to Dubai, and that's where I think everything.
You are probably along on the rest of the world that come to Dubai in lockdown on holiday or for work, as they called it. So, okay, so you got to Dubai. Have you left since then?
I have, yeah.
So you just about left since then. Okay.
So I was still working in the restaurant at that time, and my parents bought me a gift basically on my birthday, like a Dubai trip with the family. So we went to Dubai. And we had a look at everything, and I absolutely loved it, I fell in love with the city, and since then I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, I feel like Dubai is a very addictive place, especially for the young generation.
Yeah.
But it's also a lot of people see the good stuff, and they really don't understand how hard it is to actually get that lifestyle, especially for young people like ourselves, I would call it. And it does take time,
Of course.
And I know you've done it in such a short space, but that's why you're here on my show, because that is an immense achievement. So from then, where were you with the cars when you saw these beautiful cars?
far away from the cars,
It's just about getting them. Or...
the money I had for the cars was only to rent one, and that's when the whole idea came about, basically. Then I obviously we're going to places as well here in Dubai, some car showrooms, just having a look at cars because I'm in love with cars. Like big showrooms I went to just have a look, at all these cars. But then I actually wanted to always drive a Lamborghini, So I was like, me and my brother, let's rent one. We'll go halves on it. Everybody spends like maybe $300, $400 each, and then we'll rent one for 24 hours. What do you think? He's like, yeah, great idea. Let's do it. But we didn't manage actually to rent one, and that period was very, very busy times. And I was like, how come there's no Lamborghini in such a city like Dubai, where it's like filled with
all you see is Lamborghinis, and you couldn't find one.
And I couldn't find one. Like,
wow.
There must be something, like why? So I realized, okay, the demand is pretty high for it, and I like cars. So I was like, maybe, in future, I was like far away from it. Oh, of course, I can open a rent-a-car company. That would be like the biggest dream I could just imagine, like having cars which you make money off, and you can drive them whenever you want, like, and having a big fleet of cars, like every boy's dream, just to have like a fleet of cars you can just drive. So that was when I was like, okay, I need to do something.
So that's what inspired you to get into this industry?
Yes.
Yeah. So currently you have bought about $5 million worth of cars this year. Is that about right?
Yes. Our fleet is worth around $5 million in total.
Your fleet's worth about $5 million. Yeah. And what's the most expensive car you have in your fleet?
SF90 Spider, Ferrari, 1,000 horsepower, $750. 750,000.
And $750,000
yeah.
on a Ferrari. Okay. And how much roughly does that cost someone to rent out for a day?
15,000 dirhams a day. So that's
what's that in pounds?
In pounds, it's around 3.6. No, yeah, 3.7. Yeah,
$3,500 basically.
Roundabout
a day.
Yeah.
Okay, and for me, it's a little bit less.
For the viewers here, it's 3K only with code Chanel.
Was you actually into, because some boys and guys are not into cars, were you into cars from a young age?
Yes, always. I think it came like when my dad's also very into cars, we'd go to museums as a small child and drive all these kind of cars. I was always into cars, and was like a big dream to always own one of these supercars, obviously.
Yeah. Especially being from Germany, obviously, it's a massive car place,
where
isn't it?
The best cars are
the
from
best cars. I would say that as well. And you've clearly expressed how you basically identified a big gap in the market here, and you come at a really good time. I think Corona was a great time for breeding businesses in Dubai, and you also managed that, so that was amazing. Can you share one of your biggest challenges though so far to date in the industry?
I think the biggest challenge I had was scaling the business and getting clients, because it's a very, very saturated market. Actually, if you look at it, if you just look at the statistics of how long people actually survive in this business, it's like very short, because people open it up and 1 year later they close because they see they don't get enough customers. Like a lot of companies get opened up a year. These rental companies just flooded basically.
I think the reason why short-term rental cars work here is because Dubai was such a short-term rental place. Obviously, I'm in property, so property you see the market go up and down. With cars, I've been coming to Dubai for 15 years and I've seen the car market always stay very lucrative and very strong, whereas obviously the property market's always going to have a dip. And I just feel like Dubai was such a short-term place. You know, people will come here, they'll try to make it, or they'll come on holiday for a week, they'll then want to extend for a month, and then that's why cars have always been so busy and so lucrative as a financial income.
Yeah.
Did you do it for you saw the financial gain, and that was a big push for you to get into this as well?
Sorry?
The financial gain.
Yeah, of course. Like, obviously making money out of it is the best part, but owning them is also, and being able to drive them on a daily basis is amazing.
Yeah, you come here today in a Rolls Royce, I think. So I can't wait to see that after. So what strategies do you use to stay on trend within your industry?
On trends.
Yeah. How do you keep on trend? Because I've seen your Instagram and it's very on trend.
I think like we and maybe one or two of us who are in this business, we set the trend because there are no trends. Nobody's doing it. Like there's one more company here in Dubai who's also doing like TikToks and Reels, and we create the trend, to be honest, because there are no other maybe influencers for car rental business. That's how I started off, you know. I didn't start off to become an influencer myself or anything. I started off to basically scale my business. So all the content I'm doing is somehow related to my car rental business, but now I, you know, shoved it like doing also like just car reviews, maybe of a Bugatti, which I don't have in my fleet for now, you know, maybe.
Soon. That is hopefully on your goals.
Yeah.
And so, did you set yourself goals and targets at the beginning of the year?
Not really, to be honest.
Really?
I don't set targets really.
Okay.
I
think you should.
I just try to do my best all the time, every day, you know.
Yeah.
And then what comes.
Obviously, listen, every hour is very valuable in life, you know. So if you spend you spend like an hour, say, goal setting and targeting, and then the rest procrastinating, and then you have to be your biggest critic, I feel, and you have to really be on what you want, because otherwise, I did this at your age where I was successful at quite a young age, and I just was like, money coming in, living my best life, and I kind of forgot about, but where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 15 years? And I was like, okay, this is good. Everything's coming in. But at the same time, I weren't planning nothing. And I was like, I don't need to plan it because it's going really well, you know?
Yeah.
But I do feel like that goal setting is definitely something that every person should do, and it really help you. Because I've said this before, you just go round and round a little bit in a circle, and you grow in your business, but you don't know where you want the business to go in that sense, you know? So
yeah, of course.
I'm sure you do have
I've
a vision.
I have a vision, obviously.
And what is that?
To be the biggest car rental company here, definitely.
Okay, so that's your aim.
Yeah, massive showroom. That's basically what I want to create, like a showroom where people come together, basically like a space for people to network and come together, have a look at cars, and not just maybe have cars which I rent out. Maybe, you know, they're like a car museum, obviously, as well, you know.
Oh, that sounds nice. And how about car auctions? I hear they're doing quite well in Dubai.
Yeah, I didn't go to any of them. We don't purchase car from these car auctions, you know. I think you have to be a bit more into cars, I guess.
Collectors.
And
collectible cars.
Yeah, there's like two car auctions, you know, like the luxury segment of car auction and the ones where you buy broken and beaten down cars from like America or Canada, basically. Yeah. So I have not been to any of them, and maybe at some point. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go to a car auction. That would be so fun. What advice will you give to... I mean, I get asked this all the time, especially young boys your age in England, and they really want to move to Dubai, and it's like everyone's dream at the moment. And it is such an amazing place to live. Do you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
The weather, the people, the connections you can make very, very easily is you just go to a dinner, you could just go there, and there will be people who are like very, very well connected, high net worth individuals, maybe, you know, even who just want to obviously connect. I think it's like a vibe in here, like everybody wants to meet someone, everybody wants to benefit, gain someone. You know? Like not in a negative way, you know. I'm not saying to use someone, but everyone wants to make the best out of each other. I
mean, it is a bit of a shame. I feel like Dubai is quite transactional. Yeah. But the reason why that is because everyone's here for the same purpose.
And I don't mind it, to be honest.
I'm not. I mean, it depends. I don't in business, obviously, but I do in a personal aspect. I don't have friends for transactional use. I've had the same friends my whole life. I don't build genuine relationships like that. I've never built my customers on fake,
Yeah.
relationships. Dubai it's a beautiful place, and I think the reason why is because the future is here more than anywhere in the world, and especially in your industry, in the car industry, I feel like it's the biggest car rental industry in the world. Would you say? Most lucrative and expensive?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, most likely.
I definitely.
Yeah, most likely.
I don't feel like there's anywhere you can go to in the world and hire out so many beautiful,
that's true. That's true.
amazing
100%.
cars.
Yeah, I would agree on that.
So and it's the same with like developments like the Royal Atlantis.
Yeah.
It's the most. It's said to be the most beautiful building in the world.
It is 100%.
And then when you think about that and you actually sit down and think, wow, this architect is the most amazing architect in the world. These cars are the most amazing cars in the world. It kind of means that this place is one of the most amazing places to live in the world, which is why so many people want to come here. And I don't think we even realize what we're in.
No, I don't. Yeah. Sometimes I actually talk with my friends, like when we drive, it's crazy. We actually live here, people dream to come here on a holiday. We actually live here. It's like, I feel blessed, I'm very, I don't take it for granted in some sort of way, because we don't realize how crazy it is actually living here, like just everything. People see it on TikTok, on Instagram, be like, wow, how nice would it be to come on a holiday once in a lifetime,
Yeah.
And most people won't even, like.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we have to understand to the viewers and people out there is we are trying here to educate people. We are not just here for our own financial benefit, and we are grateful for obviously what we've got, because I do get a lot of people like commenting on like, oh, how did you, like, I get it, so I'm sure you get it, how did you open a estate agency at 19? And the truth is, I was blacklisted. I had no money. I got a rent-free period in my office for 9 months. I collected rent from upstairs, and I paid for my shop rent. I paid for my bills that way. I was the only staff member for about a year, so I didn't have much overheads. But when you just people think, oh, she opened an agency at 19, that's definitely mummy and daddy's money and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, no, thank God I had my parents around me, and I had good guidance. My dad's into property. He's a property developer. But I'm the one that chose to go into this career. I'm sure your family didn't say you have to go and open a car luxury company in Dubai. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because unthinkable. And I was studying law, and same way as you, like education for me, it can take you far.
Yeah, it depends what you do, really.
It depends who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to be a doctor, obviously you have to study for a long time, and we definitely want more people like doctors and amazing people like that in the world. But there's people like us, I think, that would more strive in business, academics, and places like that around entrepreneurs and creating more of an entrepreneurial lifestyle. So let's talk about something funny. What is the funniest moment you've had in your career?
Here in Dubai or just in general?
You can say whatever you want.
I could tell a crazy story maybe of like of someone who rented a car from me.
Oh, go on then. That sounds juicy.
I had one client from Eastern Europe coming, and he wanted a pink Lamborghini. I didn't have a pink Lamborghini, obviously. He's like, I need a pink Lamborghini for my girl. I'm coming here. And she wants a pink Lamborghini. She only drives pink cars. I don't know. I didn't ask any questions, like Dubai is crazy. So I was like, no, I'm sorry, we don't have a pink Lamborghini. And he didn't reply anymore. 2 weeks later, he says, I need a pink Lamborghini. I was like, we still don't have one.
Yeah, I would have bought 5 last week.
We still don't have one. He's like, okay, can you wrap it for me? I was like, yeah, I can. But you obviously have to pay for it, Car will be out of service for 3 days. We have to get it wrapped 1 day. For 1 day. After that, we have to wrap it back. I'm not going to keep it in pink, just for you. He's like, 2 days after that, we have to get the wrap back off and everything, He's like, okay, let's do it. So I just told him the whole price. I think it was like, it wasn't Urus. So it was like 3,500 dirhams per day. Just so like, it was like period of 6 days of the rent and then the service and all. So it was like total of maybe $10,000, So we wrapped it in pink. She was driving it for 1 day. Well, we delivered it to her, And when we deliver a car, what we always do, we take a picture of the dashboard to see how many kilometers they drive. They have like a limit,
Yeah.
On how much they're allowed to drive a day. So when we picked the car back up, we've seen the car drove nothing. So she didn't even drive it. She wanted to go to some event, but she didn't end up going. So she never drove it. And we wrapped a car in pink just complete.
And welcome to Dubai, everybody.
Welcome. Yeah, we have like this is the craziest story, you know, but we do have people calling like one delivery, Burj Al Arab. Hey, my girl wants to go to DIFC for dinner. She needs this car. We bring it to her. She just drives to DIFC to have dinner for like $1,000 a car. 10 kilometers there, 10 kilometers back. That's it. The car doesn't get driven. And you know, at Burj Al Arab, they have Rolls-Royce chauffeur service in front of the door.
Yeah.
So, but she wanted that car to drive to a dinner with her friends. She came back, 20 kilometers, $1,000. Dubai is crazy. I mean, you know, people have...
more money than sense, I think, sometimes. But, you know, each to their own. So what would be the most money you've made on a transaction? Would it be the pink Lamborghini so far?
Yeah. Not the most probably. I've made transaction which I probably earned more on. Like sometimes that's how I basically started as well. I think we didn't really talk about how I started, you know, like how I got to the point of having these cars. You know, we jumped, I think, straight from school to owning a super luxury. There's obviously a period.
What was the bit in between?
The bit in between is when I when I finished with drop shipping basically, and I went on the holiday onto here, and I saw the big demand on cars, and then I connected with a few people from some rent-a-car companies. Also, I called them up, had their numbers, you know, and a car showroom where they sell cars obviously as well. So when I came back, I was like, hey, you know, we met then, and then I have some good connections here in Germany for cars because we get them much cheaper. There used to be times where it was much more expensive to buy them in Dubai than in Germany. So I was basically sourcing cars for them from Germany to Dubai, like G63s, which was a super popular car. Like still is obviously, but
I think it's the most popular car in Dubai.
Yeah, 100%. But it was much higher in value. It used to be, you know, like
really?
it slowed down. Like it's not as expensive. It used to be like £250,000 at some point.
Yeah,
it's
down
not
to like 150 now.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. So it was like a margin of like
it's not expensive at all. 150,000.
Not expensive, no, expensive, but not as expensive as it used to be.
It's lovely.
So it was like we bought them for like 180k maybe from the dealer straight away when we had like a pre-order on them, and we sold them for 250. So it's like 60k straight profit straight away because we had good connections to like a lot of.
So you were flipping cars.
Flipping cars. That was how I made some money obviously as well on the side, because there's not much work, you know. I had the connections, and then we just had to ship them, you know. But it got mostly organized by the guy who was buying them in Dubai. I was working with one showroom here in Dubai.
So how did you go from being on holiday here to then shipping cars from Europe into Dubai? Well, was that all within the same year?
Yeah, it was in the same
and
year.
making all these connections. How did all that happen?
I went to the showrooms, and I was just looking at cars, you know, and I just went up to one of the salesmen there. I was like, I have a G63. I didn't have one, obviously, you know.
So you blagged your way through
I was like, I have a
Perfect.
G63. I want to sell here in Germany. Are you interested? He's like, yeah, we're interested. We sell them on a daily basis. Send me over the list, how the car looks, you know, the pictures and the list of
description.
Yeah, I was like, no problem. I'll send it over to you. When I will come back to Germany, I'll take pictures and send it to you. Then I hit up my guy, and we had a. He's like, yeah, I have the G63 coming soon. You can have it if you want, you know? So I took this one, basically sent it to him, and he's like, yeah, let's have it. And it was like, I think like 40k plus, you know, like 40,000 euros plus. And we did, with my dad together, we did always flip cars together because he's big into cars. And I was also, and we used to be like, okay, this car's coming out, let's pre-order it now. When it comes out, we'll be the first one, and we can straight away flip it on the same day. It slowed down this whole business, sadly, but we still do that nowadays. Now, like big cars, GT3 RS, you know, we get all the new cars always first. So we are flipping cars then to Dubai. That's how I established some connection there.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, but how can I start this car rental business actually there? You know, like that's what I want to do, and not flipping cars. That's not interesting for me. Car rental business is what I want to do. So when you fly to Dubai, you always get like a Dubai SIM card.
Yeah.
So I opened a Dubai WhatsApp account. I created a website by myself on like Wix, or I don't know which website, like where you can build it yourself. I created a website there, and I did some Google SEO, you know, so I ranked up a bit higher, and I just created a whole website, took pictures of the internet, basically like free, not licensed pictures of cars, and created like a car rental, online car rental, and I didn't have any cars. So I was getting leads always, and then when I started getting leads, I then connected them to my connection I made to the guys here
who owns the car.
Who owns the cars. And I was like, hey, I have a client for this and this. What's the price for me? So I get a B2B rate, the business to business rate.
Yeah.
So I get like a discount rate and give it on to my client as a B2C rate. So
Okay.
so there's like a margin depending on which car always, which
Yeah.
customer, 30%, you know?
Wow.
And that's
That's good margin.
how I did it over a year, you know? A year I was collecting, you know, I got a lot of leads and I had like a whole customer base on my WhatsApp basically.
So you got the leads from the website,
From the-
basically, originally.
Yeah, from the website basically. For Google ads, you know, I did Facebook ads when I started to generate some money.
Wow.
I did Facebook ads, TikTok ads, Google ads, everything. That's how I collected leads.
That's fantastic. It just shows how they say that marketing is going to be like the third biggest industry in the world next year. So it just shows how marketing is so powerful, isn't it? And you did that at the age of 21.
Yeah, because I did dropshipping before, so I knew how Facebook ads work. I knew it all myself. I didn't need a third-party company to teach me all of this, because when I started dropshipping, I knew all of it, the ins and outs. So I knew how to scale it, how to look after my... It's not just, you know, boost your post on Instagram, you know, like, and just paying me. It's much
That's what I do.
It's my...
There's a lot more to it.
Yeah, but
I get it.
a lot of people do it, you know. I
Yeah,
knew
of
how to
course.
target them, you know.
Yeah.
I was doing crazy stuff, you know. Like I knew, okay, maybe in English it's national holiday, and this time people from this will be in Dubai going on Dubai holiday.
Yeah.
So let's target people in London. Well, who have money, obviously, you know. In London, a lot of people have money. Target them who are interested in Dubai, who are interested in car rental. Basically, schedule them my ads. So. Okay, national holiday there, national holiday in Germany, national holiday.
Grand Prix, New Year's, Christmas, all the holidays like now. It's
New Year's Eve
absolutely crazy.
offer. It's going to show 1 week before in UK, in Dubai. So I started collecting leads basically like this. I had a whole portfolio of, I don't know how many people, you know, and I was working with multiple companies at that time, you know. I was like, here I have this customer. I was connecting them together. That's how I started actually. And that's what I teach people also on. If you want to get started in this, I teach people on how to do it basically as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How do you have like an academy or?
Yeah, I have like an online school on it basically. I
Okay.
teach people on how to do that. And if you have already a car rental company, I teach people on how to scale it obviously as well then.
Okay, and how about people want to come work with you? Do you offer that as well? Are you looking for young apprenticeships like how you were, or?
Not really right now. No, not really.
It's a lot of work, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So if people across the world want to open a car rental business, I help them with that, you know. I do the whole
Wow.
setup with them. I teach them, you know, the ins and outs, what you need to log out for. A whole school, basically an academy, online academy with like 45 videos.
Wow.
Explain everything, and a one-to-one mentoring, you know, just for any questions, you know, like daily calls. You can call me, text me whenever you want, basically.
So you make it sound, it's very impressive. You make it sound very easy, but what advice would you give to the younger generation out there that want to come to Dubai, the challenges that you've had, the lessons that you've learned, and obviously want to maybe not start their business straight away, but get into this industry?
Car rental industry?
Yeah, car industry.
Car industry. I would start like how I started, sourcing cars. Before you deploy, if you have the money, you're going to obviously succeed quicker, but you might, if you not do it correctly, not be profitable in the first year because you will not have as many customers. You might buy, you know, if I will buy now 500 cars, I will not be able to rent them all out because the demand is not that high for me right now, you know. Maybe in 3, 4, 5 years time it will be, but at the start, you might need to, you know, start with less cars and outsource them, you know, and basically take cars from different companies because you will not have the demands and cars will be sitting around, and when cars are sitting around, you're losing money. You have to pay obviously for service, you have to pay for insurance, you have to pay for the place the car stays and stuff like this.
Same like when we sit around and we lose money. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I saw something so interesting online the other day, and it was like, you know, every hour is valuable, but at the same time, that when you're doing something that's not in line with what your goals are, you're taking away the time that you should be driving yourself to do what you need to do to get where you want to get to, and everything's delaying it. And realistically, we don't have a lot of time when you think about it.
No.
You know, and time is so precious. So I think it is amazing that you use your time quite precisely, and I feel like you really know what you want in life, and you're going for it. But let's talk about the fun side of your life now.
Okay.
What music are you into?
Music, hip hop, R&B, like German music also as well.
Ah.
Yeah, German music, hip hop.
Really?
Yeah, it's very good. Some German artists collab with UK artists also.
And Turkish artists,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah,
There's
like Mero.
Mero, yeah, he's great. I've seen
Luciano collab with like Dave and Central C. He's a German artist, Luciano. You should all look into him. He's very good.
Okay, everyone, look into this. The German artist. What theme song would you most dedicate your life to at the moment? How you feel like when you wake up? What's your theme song of the day? Or your artist?
Is there a song called Working? I don't know. Like I just work all day. Really.
Do you not listen to music in the day?
I listen to like techno music, but not like hardcore. Like
Really, like electro? Is it electro? I
like
don't know.
like beach club techno, like techno house. It's called
Soul house. Oh, techno house.
Techno house.
Oh, I love that.
Because I think it's better when you work that there's no lyrics in it. So I think it's actually
So
better.
is that what you listen to on your work day? Do you do? And what's your average like routine?
Wake up at like 8.
We're not a 5 a.m. club yet.
No,
crazy psychopath club.
No, wake up at 8. Straight on my phone, answering messages, see what I missed. Maybe go through Instagram, how my videos are. I post every day, so see how my videos are doing, answering messages. Then
and another thing. Sorry, I'll interrupt you. Your social media.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I haven't been following you long, and obviously we met through a mutual friend, which is, again, just shows how great opportunities are, and you just don't know who you're going to bump into in the lift in Dubai. You're like, oh, you live in my area. Oh, yeah, we live in the same area. Oh, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're sitting here doing a podcast. So this is Dubai. Like, literally unimaginable can happen, which is amazing. But I've looked into and researched you. Like, how vastly did your social media grow this year?
Yeah, it's crazy actually. I started in, I think, April. I started with social media, maybe even June.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure when I started. Like maybe let's say April. I started with like 600 followers. My friends on Instagram, 600 followers. TikTok 0, YouTube 0. Now we are on 350,000 on TikTok. 150 on YouTube.
Likes or views?
No, subscribers. 150,000. Sorry. 150.
Oh my God, that's like unimaginable.
150,000 subscribers on YouTube, 350,000 on TikTok, and like close to 80,000. Maybe today I will hit 80,000 on Instagram.
And what does that mean when they subscribe to your Instagram? I know about YouTube and TikTok. What does it mean that do they get like daily updates, or what benefits do they get of that? People benefit?
I don't think they get much benefit from it. Maybe watching interesting videos,
It just means that they're like a fan of yours, and that they can feel like they can learn off you, so they've subscribed to you, right?
Yeah,
because not a lot of people know what subscribing is and how much it benefits, and it does, by the way, guys. So please subscribe to us, like, comment, post, share.
Yeah.
So it is beneficial. And how do you feel like that? How do you feel that's benefited your company and your business?
A lot, like really? A lot. I could say most of our leads, I even stopped right now paying for ads. Like I don't do paid ads at the moment. All I do is organic right now because it's going so well. If I would have to pay for 2 million views on a video, let's say on Facebook, and promote it, it will be quite a bit. It's like 100. I don't know exactly how much, like $100 or whatever. I get like on some videos 5 million views on TikTok, the same video 3 million views on YouTube, and the same video 3 million views on Instagram. One video I can post on 3 channels basically, getting 10 million views.
Wow.
And maybe I spend sometimes 10. Sometimes
10 million views on a video.
Yeah.
That's so fantastic. Honestly, you must be really, really proud of yourself. Seriously.
I'm never happy. It's never satisfied. Never proud.
Yeah, you seem really strict on yourself. What star sign are you?
I'm a fish. Pisces, huh?
Pisces it's a good sign. It's a placid sign, and it's the water.
Yeah.
So that's why you're chilled.
Yeah.
You seem really chilled, and
I am. Yeah.
You are. Oh, that's good. And if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be? I made you laugh. I'm really happy about that.
I don't know.
Come on,
I don't think about this kind of stuff in my daily life. You know what?
Go on.
You help me. You know me now.
Okay. Hardworking, dedicated, and ambitious.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Thank you to me. I just grasped you in like an hour. Okay, so what would you say would be the most valuable lesson out there to yourself? What's like the most valuable lesson that you've learned so far in your life?
Just hard work outbeats anything, I'd say. You know, like trying. I tried so much. I could name you 10 things I've done before actually succeeding. You know, I had a supermarket, like an online supermarket, Italian supermarket in Germany. I was selling clothes. I was doing marketing service, doing logos, marketing. I don't know even what else. I forgot most of it. You know, like flipping stuff. A lot of stuff I did. You know, but if you keep on trying, eventually something will work. You know. Might take 2 years, might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, might take 15 years. You know,
you might lose it all and come back, and it's still okay. Isn't
of course,
it?
you know, you never know. Maybe I'll lose my car rental business next year. Something happens. You never know. You know.
Let's not put that out.
Of course, you never.
Come on now.
You never. No. But you never know. Like a lot of people thought they will never. You know, restaurants thought they will never go out of business. Corona came. You know, bum. You know, they went out of business. So we never know what's gonna happen. Obviously, I don't hope this will ever happen. You know, but. You have to be ready for it, you know. I mean,
so your main piece of advice lesson is to work hard as possible.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy life at all?
I enjoy working, you know. So I don't go out. I just wake up and work the whole day. Basically, I rarely ever go out.
Drinking?
No, I don't drink.
Really?
Maybe on birthdays, special occasions, I will drink, you know. But otherwise, I will not, because.
Great.
The next day, you're not productive, really, are you?
Not at all. For about 2-3 days, in my instance, at my age.
I don't know, drank maybe 1 year ago last time, so it might have changed again, you know?
I feel like that's a pattern of the people and successful people that I have brought on my pod, is that a lot of them don't drink and a lot of them don't go out. But I've never had anyone this young that I've spoken to that don't go out, because obviously every 23-year-old is out 2-3 nights a week getting drunk, which is fine. It's absolutely fine, and
it's
we're not
fine.
No, you have to let people do what you want. Listen, if everyone was like you in the world, the world wouldn't be where it is.
Yeah, of course.
Do you see what I'm saying? And everyone is a different impact of society than other
100%,
people.
100%.
So the same with me, and so that's how I feel. You've got to respect everyone's. Well, listen, everyone's upbringing is different. Everyone's dedications, everyone's choices are different.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's down to everyone to do what they want to do in life, and if they're happy doing that, then
of course, if you're happy going out 2 times, 3 times a week, I don't mind. It's not my problem, you know.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've got friends that still enjoy that life, no, or not really?
No, not really, actually. Like
really?
All my friends are older, and they did already, you know. Not all of them are maybe as successful as the other ones, maybe some other friends, but everybody's kind of doing something. If not, you know, I tell them to do something. You know, I had one friend in Germany, I just visited him, and I'm like, we need to start doing something for you, you know. So I helped him, you know, told him maybe a few stuff he can do. Because I try to help my friends, obviously, in the best way possible, you know. Yeah,
I feel like you'll be a really good, you know, ambitious person and person to look up to within your friendship group. They come to you for a lot of advice.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
And obviously we're at the end of 2023 now. We're going to an amazing, exciting new year, 2024. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
More podcasts for me. I'm sure hopefully some podcasts for you, and a bigger business. Have you got any goals for 2024? What's your next year plan?
Just continue growing I'm quite happy along how I grow, you know. Mm-hmm. Just do more work, you know. I set myself some other goals, you know. I upload once a day. I want to upload twice a day now, you know, on my social media. Want to grow that even more, go into more social media stuff. I think I see the benefits from it a lot.
Yeah.
Just not only from getting more leads and more customers, but also opening a lot of doors, getting invited to events, people, you know. More networking.
I feel like you have to do networking, social media, and obviously the business part of things as well, don't you?
Yeah.
And one question, my last question for you. What do you feel about the property market in the world? Have you ever got into property?
Yeah, we're into property as well here with my business partner. I have a business partner here in Dubai, and we're into property as well, short term and like flipping also.
Okay.
So I think it's an amazing market here in Dubai.
Yeah.
And if you have someone...
I'm glad someone... obviously, I've been to property my whole life. So I'm glad that you agree with someone in the car industry to... Actually, to be honest, a lot of entrepreneurs and businessmen I've met in your industry have bought a lot of property in Dubai.
Of course, yeah. I think like every investor
Goes hand in hand, right?
every investor or everybody who's making a significant amount of money, they invest in property in the end of the day. I think most of them do, you know.
I do feel like a car is a more expensive investment at the moment because you're in it less, you know. But that's why people are better off to rent them, really, which is why it's doing so well. You're better off to rent a car than buy a car, I find, in Dubai, especially because it's such a short-term place. But buy houses, flip houses, and we need to push that in Dubai because it's an amazing market for both.
100%, yeah, I agree on that.
Hopefully we can do some business together.
Let's hope next year. This year will be with short notice.
Yeah, definitely next year.
Yeah.
We'll sit down and work something out. But thank you very much. Thank you, Vak. Have you got any questions for me? No.
Not really, no. I think
we covered it.
well, we covered my questions. What you wanted to ask me, but you know, the property market will speak in private, I think, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the rental market is going to be really good here next year. That's one thing I predict that I'm going to probably try and hit and target.
Short term or long term?
Long term.
Long term?
Yeah, long term is getting a bit more lucrative purely because there's less outgoings, you know, cleaning, and a lot of people coming here more long term now. So that's the pattern of Dubai I'm seeing. It's not the 2-year plan anymore. It's the 10-15 year plan now. People want to retire here.
Yeah.
Why not?
We're quite profitable on one, especially on one villa we have in the British Embassy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 5 palm. They call it the British Embassy.
I do not visit there, I'm afraid.
You haven't been there?
Well, I have, yeah,
Of
but
course.
not for a very long time.
Yeah, no. It's going very well, you know?
Yeah, parties.
No, like people rent it out, you know, obviously to do parties in
Yeah.
there, but it's very profitable. It's working out very well, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I would maybe move to Dubai Hills. I think that's a good villa community to rent off. So yeah, we'll talk.
We'll talk, definitely.
Thank you, Becca.
Thank you for having
very
me.
much for
I
coming
appreciate
on.
this talk.
Really do. Me too. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching our show again. You can obviously go on YouTube. We're going to put this out on Instagram and it's going to go on TikTok. So like, follow, subscribe, comment and follow us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.